Last week was a doozy. All of the attention was paid to President Donald Trump and then to the grand implosion of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And that must have peeved some of those youngins from the selfie generation because they simply weren't in the spotlight. Oh, hey, AOC. I'm Katie Petrick, and this is Healthy Republic. Tried as she may, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's cries for attention were drowned out last week because of all of the winning being done by President Trump. But that doesn't mean she wasn't putting out weak attempts for notice, including a real doozy on Saturday night involving her beta boy, and then the talking to she got from her favorite comrade. But before we get to the details, let's get today's question. If you could ask AOC one thing on Instagram Live, what would that be? Now let's start with the usual rant and rave.
Fight for healthcare as a right. Fight for a living wage. Fight to end mass incarceration. Fight to break up ICE and CBP.
AOC's comment in New Hampshire while on the campaign trail this week for fellow socialist Bernie Sanders sounds just like a statement she made at an Iowa campaign stop a week prior to this.
I'm not here to reform some of these systems when we talk about immigration. I'm here because Senator Sanders has actually committed to breaking up ICE and CBP. That's why I'm here. Organizing is about tipping people off if you start to see that ICE and CBP are in communities to try to keep people safe.
Ho Nelly. Yep, you bet she just called to abolish the Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Customs and Border Patrol. And you bet she just encouraged people to engage in criminal activity by tipping people off if ICE is doing a raid. Now, as wackadoodle as she is, that was a bit too far even for the old man socialist to endure, at least for it being said out loud. And so Ocasio-Cortez had to be called out for her immature behavior. Vanity Fair reported that people within Bernie's campaign were unhappy with the freshman's comments and that there would be a talking to. Can you imagine how that lecture must have gone?
You're not the person I thought you were, baby. I'm not sure who you are, but I don't want you to have anything to do with those people again.
But it really is nothing new coming out of AOC's mouth. It's her narcissistic personality and what drives her motivations of me, and that's why there is little wonder that she made the State of the Union speech about her, though admittedly, it was a sad attempt. She was simply too distraught with the thought of having to sit in the chambers and listen to President Trump talk about America, with its good economy and its low unemployment, that she stayed in for the night. There she is, sitting in her office with her dog and putting it all on Instagram. That's what she does because that's who she is. Woof. And she let her Twitter followers know how so very affected she was about her choice to not do her job. This is a deeply personal decision for each member to make, and a choice I did not take lightly. But she reassured the followers not to worry, because she'll be on Instagram Live later to bitch about it. And bitch did she. AOC took the time to give her 2 cents about Rush Limbaugh being presented the Medal of Freedom at the State of the Union.
The Presidential Medal of Freedom is an extraordinarily sacred award. We're talking about putting someone on the same level as Rosa Parks, for example, in terms of their contributions to American progress. Rush Limbaugh is a virulent racist, but even just on top of that, to do it in the middle of a State of the Union and not even dignify it with its own ceremony as it has, there's all sorts of norms that are being violated, not just for people's humanity, but also it truly just cheapens the value of it.
Cheapens. Yes, that's AOC mocking a man with cancer for pure political points. And what does she mean by sacred? Because you know who else has been awarded the Medal of Freedom? Robert De Niro, Barbara Streisand, and Bill Cosby. A crazy, a funny girl, and a rapist. Need I say more? And you know this is all political theater meant to spotlight her because of what she said to the House Oversight Committee this week about her father, who had the same cancer as Rush Limbaugh.
Right around the time things started turning up better for my family, my father was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and he passed away when I was about 18 years old.
That's tragic for anyone to have to deal with. So you would expect, a little compassion, but none is to be found within AOC. She's too busy shaming everyone, even her live-in boyfriend. Just this past weekend, she used her favorite Instagram Live to shame her white beta friend and anyone with similar melanin. Brace yourselves. This one is long-winded.
So, Riley, what has been helpful to you in combating racism?
I think it's helpful and important to talk to other white people about racism. And I think a lot of people, they don't want to be racist. They don't think that they're racist, but they also don't know some of the things that they believe or say are and can be racist. And I think one of the effective ways is just to talk and kind of help teach them about why some of the things they believe or say or think are wrong. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily racist, but that they're wrong. And that'll sort of chip away and, contribute to some development in this area, but not necessarily take somebody from being a racist to not being a racist in one conversation.
And it's just always being open to learning about racist things that we may have said or done without judgment and defensiveness.
I'm not convinced she wasn't playing the ventriloquist with her hand up his... Anyway, he also clearly did not give the proper answer because she had to Latin-splain to him as he looked away with white guilt. Oh, the shame. About as much shame as the economics graduate of Boston University mixing up the names of two of the most famous economists. It appears Milton Keynes is a love child of Milton Friedman and John Maynard Keynes. That's so progressive of them. Listening to AOC, her words are just so inspiring. The way she puts them together in sentence form.
And as someone who has been told to go back, I'm going to tell you, we're moving forward.
Oh, you are you?
Forward to a multiracial democracy, forward to guaranteed health care, forward to a living wage, forward to fighting for our neighbors, forward for indigenous rights and honoring sovereignty.
I'm sorry, where are you going again? I couldn't hear it over all that obnoxiousness.
Forward, forward, forward. That's where we're gonna go.
Okay, chill your grill. There's no need to yell about it. Why do you have to be so aggressive? That's right. I forgot it's all about me, or more specifically, you. In the weeks ahead, there will be a lot of AOC. Why? Because she can't help herself, and her level of narcissism must be exposed for what it is. It knows no bounds, and that's what makes it so very dangerous. Until next time, stay healthy, America.